quick?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So go ahead and say who you are.
Marissa Owens, 22.
What's your major?
Oh, my degree's in psychology, and I'm a multiracial woman.
My name's Ashli Owens. I'm from Phoenix, Arizona originally, came to U of A in 2008, and graduated with a Bachelor of Science degree in microbiology, and I minored in chemistry.
My name is Nita Okansi. I am 25 years old. I graduated from the University of Arizona with my Bachelor's of Science in Nutritional Sciences. I'm currently an academic advisor here at the University of Arizona. I am Jasmine Matthews. I'm from Tucson, Arizona. I graduated from the University of Arizona with a Bachelor's of Arts in Psychology and Sociology.
Hi, I'm Dejanae Williams. I am a master's student with ASU, getting a master's in social work here in Tucson. I am 22 years old.
So, my name is Anita J. I was born in Ghana, raised in London. I'm 25, and
my name is Chamaka Madu. I am studying molecular and cellular biology and biomedical engineering at the University of Arizona.
Great.
I'm 20 years old, and I'm from New York and Nigeria.
Great. So how do you represent yourself on social media?
I would say I represent myself in a positive light. I only have Instagram. I used to have Facebook. That was more for my undergraduate career because I'm in a sorority. And so that was my platform for really communicating information to people in the community.
Well, I try to keep positive images. I just have a Facebook and an Instagram, but I try to put positive images on there, or if I feel like my outfit's really nice, I'll put that on there. Inspirational quotes. I'm into fitness, so I'll put pictures of me working out, different holidays. So I'm trying to keep a positive image.
I am pretty removed, but I'm trying to make an effort just because. Okay, I guess I should explain that better. When I say removed, I don't have Snapchat. I continuously delete my Instagram, and I just re-downloaded Facebook and Messenger because by force. But I really don't like using them. But the reason why I keep re-downloading them is not really to stay in touch with my friends because I see them in daily life, but it's more because there's an impactful, movement going on today where you need to get more information about your identity out there because otherwise people really won't know.
How do you feel that other people represent African American women on social media?
I think it's kind of split down the middle. There's a lot of negative, there's a lot of positive images shown on social media. People who graduate and they have kids even though they graduated college, or lawyers and doctors showing that Black people can be those professionals. But then there's also like the negative ones where people are shaking their butt and stripping and stuff on social media. So I think it kind of depends.
I feel like there is an interesting balance so far. I mean, I feel like there's that negative stereotype of Black women on social media. But I also think that we have came to a new era where, Black women are starting to appreciate their ethnicity more, their heritage more, embracing natural hair, embracing their style, embracing, just pretty much what our ancestors came from. So I think there's a nice balance so far, but I would definitely love to see us move forward along from that natural stereotype that Black women have on social media.
yeah, I think sometimes it's negatively and to a point of being derogatory. So no one ever wants to tell the other side of the story.
Yeah.
So it's always the stereotype. So, they fit this particular mold. So that's what we're going to share. And the more that is shared, the more people's perception is based on that stereotype. They don't get to I don't know if I can reference her, but
Go ahead.
they don't get to, do their research and say, okay, this is what's being put out there. Is that what they're really like? They're strong African American women out there that no one ever talks about. People at NASA, people at, you know, people who are CEOs of companies that barely get mentioned, but it's always the negative. Oh, she's a basketball wife, she does this, she does that. I'm like, that's a stereotype, because that's 10% of the African American population. It's not the other 90% that's being portrayed. So yeah.
There's a woman named Lisa Nakamura, and she studies online racism and then how different races are represented online. So one of the types of racism is stereotypes and how that's transitioned into online. And a lot of times African American women, they are represented as angry, uneducated, and like we talked about before, they have certain beauty standards that are set for them. Do you believe that it's true that we're represented that way online?
I see African American women being strong. Uneducated is out the window. Everyone can have their stereotype, and they just see how one certain group is doing, and that's how they see everyone being. So, and that's far from the truth. We as African American women, we are strong. If anything, we've been through some things, so I feel like that makes us even more stronger. And just trying to stay positive, beautiful women who are always go-getters and really doing things and working hard in our community. So.
As far as like the stereotypes that you do see, do you think that you see more about African American females, or do you think you see others?
I definitely do. I definitely think African American women are kind of, it's like they have these expectations for African American women, but at the same time, it's just like, I feel like our culture, what it is that we do, people try to kind of mimic that, and it's so interesting that they have these negative stereotypes, but people take, African American women and just kind of run with it, from videos to making comedy. You see people with wigs and having this attitude like a black woman, and it's really interesting. But I definitely think there's more attention on the African American women, especially when we speak out about stereotypes or embracing our beauty. Black girls rock and everything like that. It's like, oh, but everybody rocks, or everything like that. So I definitely think there is a microscope on us, but
Everybody knows the TED Talk by now by Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie, where she says there's the single story issue. And it really is so relevant. If there's not that if there's only one single story, that I won't say people are innocent when they do stereotypes, but stereotypes do come mostly from what they see. And I can't blame someone if they didn't know completely. There's common sense, but sometimes, it's not that common. And I might have an idea of someone and I try, simply because I know someone will misunderstand me, because they don't know much about me and don't assume that I could be a normal person, that who I am has to dictate everything I do. That gives me the cognizance that everyone probably has that experience.
So where do you think people take these stereotypes from?
Definitely social media. It goes back to that. We're in a generation now where a whole bunch of people just go off of what they see instead of really doing that research or looking deeper into things. So they'll see things on social media or even what's on TV or what's relayed in the news and just run with that instead of making their own notion or really going to a source and seeing like, okay, this person isn't like that. They're not all like that. But people like to just run to those different things that it's easy to get that information and just run with instead of really saying, like, digging deeper and knowing that, okay, that's not truly how it is, and I need to change my mindset.
Yeah.
I think the internet has defined Black beauty in a way that's not really like the everyday normal Black person. I think that Black women who are like people who how do I say it? Like Black China or Amber Rose, like they define that as pretty, like having big butts, big boobs, and like all different kind of color hairstyles, when that's not the everyday Black person.
I think the natural is kind of a big thing right now. So just natural hair. You see melanin a lot, so just appreciating your skin tone, the different shades of being Black. So I think the natural is really popular right now.
Yeah. Do you think this is kind of transitioning to younger females as well?
I think so. I feel like in the past, well, maybe not so much further back, kind of maybe recent past, but kind of hair extensions were really into play. But now you see even the younger children with the natural hair textures, or how to care for your natural hair, how to make it grow, and how to just embrace it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, what about when celebrities like the Kardashians use African American culture and kind of depict it in their own light, and it's seen as a positive, beautiful thing, but then when that's what we're born with and it's natural, people like negatively stereotype it?
For like a cultural appropriation, I don't see anything wrong in respecting or copying, should I say, another race's or another ethnicity's customs or their traditions. I do find it sad when if a Black young girl is wearing cornrows to school and they say, oh, what's that, or your hair's so nappy, but when Kylie Jenner does it, all of a sudden it's a new trend and fad when people have been doing it for years. Not even African Americans just wear cornrows, it's many other ethnicities. And not saying that it's just for one, but it is kind of different when you have young girls growing up in school who are so self-conscious about their hair and their hairstyles, and then when a celebrity does it, even a celebrity that's not Black, and they get praised for it and say that it's their thing and they started this trend, it's kind of upsetting.
So, kind of drawing to some of Lisa Nakamura's stuff, which we touched on a little bit, but she talks about different like cultural layers and the ideologies regarding race, and just kind of why people feel the need that, even though they don't know, like you said, and these aren't necessarily facts, why do they feel the need to still bring it to the internet and widely spread it?
It's just ignorance.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, that's what it boils down to. People do not want to make the effort to learn. So knowledge is power, right?
Yeah.
So if you want to be less ignorant, you're going to go out there and become more educated on a matter, rather than, oh, this person said that, so I'm just going to take that and roll with it without further delving into what that issue is about. So I think it just boils down to ignorance and laziness. That's what it is.
I think it's because it's social media. You can say whatever you want to behind your phone. You can make a fake profile. You can say whatever you want to somebody who's in a different state, different country, and you'll never have to see them. And I think that's part of the bullying culture as well that's growing, especially in schools with young kids, is that bullying, you can put something on somebody's Facebook and they'll never know who you are and they'll never see it because you're far away. So I think the hatred that people post, if it's the N-word, if it's about Mexicans, if it's about Chinese people, if it's about white people, all of it, it's just the fact that you have something to hide behind. And I think that's the biggest problem, is that you never have to face people face to face, and it has to deal with other people's insecurities as well. So,
how do you think that we as individuals can kind of change the way that we are depicted on the internet?
I think it's up to us to tell us our story. So, and for every level of negative thing that's out there, it takes at least 10 other people to put out a positive item to erase that. So it's like there needs to be more of us doing it. But I don't know if people really want to have their life scrutinized by all these strangers, and I'm not one for that. So I wouldn't do it. I'm just being brutally honest. Like, just to have my life open for everyone to be able to comment on, it's my life.
Yeah.
So I don't feel the need to overshare. I share things on social media, but it's things that I feel would make a difference more so than about me.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we need to get from that whole about me thing to, okay, this is what's really, start the conversation about what's really going on. So.